We will wait for more 3 minutes and then we can start, Sumanji.
Okay, ji.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we start. Yeah. Namaste to all. My name is Sangeeta Reddy and I'm the Joint General Secretary of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Today on the special occasion of Hindu Women's Day, we are organizing a Baudik by name AgraNI. By the way, any guesses about AgraNI? In simple words, it is women leadership. Taking further, we have a well-known and a special speaker, Dr. Srimati Kesan. Dr. Srimati Kesan, founder and CEO of leading Indian aerospace startup Space Kids India, pioneering in design, fabrication, and launch of small satellites, spacecrafts, and ground system. She and her team have launched 19 plus balloon sats, 3 suborbital payloads, and 5 orbital satellites, which includes world's smallest and lightest satellite. Kalamsat was launched by NASA and 4 other orbital satellites. Kalamsat V2, SDSat, AzadiSat, and AzadiSat 2 by ISRO. She is the only woman to be decorated the ambassador status to the top 3 space center of world. NASA by US, ESA by Europe, and GCTC by Moscow. Dr. Srimati Kesan is the first woman from India to experience zero gravity flight, along with astronaut woman walker Charles Duke. The first woman engineer of the Apollo mission, Miss Poppy astronaut Richard Garriott, and astronaut Wrangler Christian Kropp. Her goal is to provide economical and sustainable access to space to cater the needs of education, research, and industry. Now I open the dais to Dr. Suman Narayan, who is going to interact with Dr. Srimati Kesan and guide us through her adventure careers. A few words about Suman Narayan. Dr. Suman Narayan holds a PhD in chemistry from Technical University Darmstadt, Germany. She is currently working in business development, Helios Precious Metal in Germany. A mother of two kids, she believes that our Sanatana values give children the superpower to succeed the world. Dr. Suman Narayan has a passion for both innovation and education. She believes that women possess immense potential to drive positive changes across the society. She is fierce advocate for women in STEM and she actively mentors young women, encouraging them to take up new challenges. Now I give up this to Suman Narayan.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji, for the kind words. And a warm welcome to Srimati ji, also from my side. This is a very special occasion today for us. It's the International Women's Day coming up, and we are glad to have you with us today to share your journey with us. You are such an inspiring character, personality, and I think we are going to learn a lot from you. So I would like to start from your secret mission that you have right now. Sakti Sat, would you please let our audience know a bit about it?
Namaskar to everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. Wonderful introduction, Sangeeta ji, and thank you so much for initiating everything, Suman ji. Okay, yes, you got it right. Mission Shakti Sat, and we all know what is Shakti. You know, the energy, the power of women. So we want to bring all young girls from across the globe. So before that, I just wanted to give you a small prelude of why we started Mission Shakti Sat. We built Azadi Sat in the year 2023. And it was 750 rural girls from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the length and breadth of India, every state and every union territory we had involved and handpicked about 10 girls to build this satellite called the Azadi Sat for the 75th Indian independence. Because our country, most of it, we believe that comes from villages. Our roots are from the villages. So I thought, how are we to keep these girls, not coming on the table, not sitting equally with us on the table? I mean, of course, in STEM industry, it is just 14 to 19% of women still, participating. And leadership roles, all the more. It's just only 3% globally. So something that needs to be done for this as an individual, I thought, maybe this is a small thing, a small drop in the ocean that I need to do with whatever work that I've embarked on. And this is the Azadi Sat, for people to see. This is the real satellite, the engineering model, and one went up. Wow. So now after doing this, we had Elon Musk coming to India. He was supposed to come to India, and from the Prime Minister's office, we were about 10 to 12 people. We were chosen to meet him. And, our chairman, Dr. Pan Goenka from InSpace, was given responsibility of, understanding as to what we are going to be talking to Elon Musk. And, we had a dry run through and all that. And constantly my mind was pondering, a man with so much of technology, what are we going to share in technology? It needs to be something beyond that. So I really prayed hard that day. And I said, something that Elon Musk has not done, something we are doing. I think we need to share that. And a collaboration need to be there on that scale. And you won't believe, when I slept in the night, I think probably this was running in my mind so hard. And it was a beautiful dream that came that, maybe you should build a spacecraft involving 108 countries together. So bring 108 countries together, 108 children. So which means to say 108 into 108 is the distance between Earth and Moon, roughly. So that was given. So which is 12,000, close to 12,000 girls. That also came in the mind, and that is the sun cycles, the number of years, there is a small change in the sun cycles. So everything, in my mind, it was like a dream. I woke up and it was a dream. It was a real dream. I woke up and it was so dark and I said, oh my God, what is this? And you won't believe, the name Shakti Sat was also given. So I feel that this is a divine journey and a divine path that was given by God for us as Indians to embrace the entire women community, give them a specific place and say that you can do it. Give that hope to all the girl children that you can do it. Dream big. So a moon is an icon. Moon is an icon and it throws light to the entire world. So similarly, our girls. So with our broad smile, I think we lit up the whole place. And it's the confidence that we need to build in technology in this particular industry to say, yes, we can do it. And that's how Shakti Sat was born. And grace of God, we've all onboarded almost 103 countries now. So another 6 more to go, and we will be rolling the curriculum. And subsequently, after these 12,000 girls are educated, one child from each country will be handpicked, and she will be brought to India for building the spacecraft. So, I mean, what more can we ask of? Something to go to the moon that you are building with your teeny weeny small hands. I thought that is so beautiful. And not only that, here we are going to be teaching culture. There is going to be so much of culture. There's going to be so much of traditional exposure and experience and exchanges going to happen. So I literally titled this as a Space Olympics. We're going to be having a Space Olympics in India when all these children and women leaders are going to come to India. So that is Shakti Sat. PSLV, we intend launching it in 2026 September. So from there, maybe it will take about 10 days to 15 days to reach the lunar orbit and subsequently hard land on the moon.
Amazing, amazing. I'm getting goosebumps already. Srimati ji, that's really amazing. All the best.
Thank you so much.
I think many mothers here, they are also excited to send their girl child to you.
Oh, beautiful.
But
Because
now
always we give, there is a myth always that women and technology don't go together. And, right from as a child, we are built like, I thought it was predominantly in India, but I think across the globe, girl children are built for marriages. Girl children are always said to, always induced in mind saying that, you should be prim and proper, then everything will be good. You should be domestically talented to balance everything at home, then everything, your family will go good. So people keep pushing that into our mind. But the world is transforming into a tech platform. So where are we girls? So that is what hurts me so much. And I thought, when I'm breathing this air on earth, something I need to leave before I kick the bucket.
Sure. And this brings to my next question. And let's step back a bit into the time. So how did it all started? Because I heard that you were also managing your family for 16 years before you started this adventure. So what inspired you to do that? So what was the whole motivation?
I should say 18 years. Life is literally like, in two parts. Srimati before 18 and after 18. To give you a background a little, let me just go behind to, narrate my childhood also. So I hail from Hyderabad and I've done my schooling and everything. I come from a very humble family, and my parents are, they're not graduates, but highly ambitious to send their child to the best school. And, but my mom was always like, you have to do these things so that you get married to the right person. So that was always induced in my mind. But, this differences of the rich and poor and the class and everything in those days was a little more. People could put you down because you were not there, with your clothes and so many other things. And that was a little really hurting and paining for me. So every time I went out, I took a bullish step, not as a girl, but as a, literally like a lioness. I fought. I wanted to give that tag to my parents. I wanted to give the best for my dad, who has worked hard to bring me, bring up this child of his. So everywhere, whenever I won prizes, I used to feel proud when they say, "Oh, Srimati Srinivasan." So that gave me that pride to do something really beyond. But I was, so I went on to play basketball. I played about 10 nationals, and then I was a state athlete. And NCC, I was a paratrooper. I was an All India silver medalist firing, dance debates, and I was a parade commander for the Delhi Republic Day NCC. And that day, I was given an entry into the armed forces by the then General Krishna Rao, who came as a guest. And he called for my father and he said, yes, हमें ऐसी लड़की चाहिए फौज में. And it was like, my dad was so proud, but he took my wedding invitation and gave it to him. He said, today after this parade, we are actually going to Chennai to get her married. And everybody went mad. They said, how can you do this? She's just 18. And how can you do this? But that's what is destiny. So from sword, I jumped to spatula. I tell this everywhere. Srimati's life is sword to spatula to space. So beautifully carved, all the S's have come together. So 18 years, I was married into a traditional family, which was like, typical South Indian family. Whatever you do, that's your past. But now you are a homemaker. You have to take care of your in-laws. You have to take care of the family. So you be there. Whatever was coming in from the kitty of my husband, we need to manage the house. So that was then. So it was there, but me, probably I was a little ADHD or something, I always thought if somebody had tested me then, because I'm a little fidgety, I finish everything and there is so much time in my hand, and I always felt I should be doing something. So without the knowledge of my family, I would go lend my voice, because many of them say, it's good for documentaries and everything. So I enjoyed doing that. Everything free of cost. It is just that, the feel of satisfaction that you've done something. So when my mother-in-law and everybody is sleeping, I just run, I just go do this. And I was doing ramp, choreography for ramp shows. And I produced 6 ad films. Everything is like, that 12 to 4 o'clock where nobody is at home, and, my mother-in-law is sleeping and everybody's gone to work. My daughter is at school. I just jump, do everything and come back. But then after 18 years, there was like a journalist who wrote my story. He said, how versatile are you? I want to write about you. I said, no, don't do that. But that was the day. Again, it was a doomsday. So that spread. And again, I had to get back home. So I said, probably for some days, okay, we're not going to do anything. What next? So there came an angel from Mumbai. She was the best cadet of Maharashtra NCC. So she mentioned to me, what are you doing with life? I said, yeah, with life, I'm doing all this. And she laughed at me and she said, okay, fine, let's forget the past. I'm having a deal. Somehow convince your family, go to Miami. There is a conference, so something will happen to you. Chalo yaar, come on, do that. I was so excited because everything was free of cost, and that's very important. And I was going to be wearing a blazer after 18 years, and I was going to be communicating in English and everything. So everything was great. I requested permissions at home, but everything was denied. But but somehow I kept praying, and 6 hours before my flight, I got the permissions. I went there. I got to see a beautiful, beautiful convention there. About 30,000 presenters were there. But my eyes just fell on one booth. That was the NASA's booth. So now you know what it is. So Miami transformed everything in my life. That was the beginning. And no looking back. I did all this, silent satyagrahas and, everything that I could take on me, and built Space Kids India. So it's rather than me choosing or me doing something, I always feel that it's a divine path, because I kept asking God, the universe, or the moon, whatever we call it, why was I born? So the answer was there then. So I got this as my purpose of birth, and predominantly working for the underprivileged and advocating for girls. These are the two means for what I live and breathe.
So you never actually let that sword girl in you to die, right? So it was hidden somewhere, and you were like silently working on that, even though you had a spatula to show, but you were sword girl from heart.
You just nailed it, Sumanji. Yes. See, because, by the time it is 18 years, you're already exhausted with life. There is so much that you have to sacrifice. I wouldn't say sacrifice, but you let go. You let go so many things that were really beautiful before, but in the due course for the family, you let go so many things. So like that, it was checkbox. You just checked everything and you were giving up. But this one thing I never gave up, because I always felt Srimati was born for a purpose. And without that purpose, she is not gonna die.
So you say to our audience that having a purpose is very important.
Absolutely very important, because we are born, according to our culture, we are born, reborn, and everything, but we come with a purpose. We meet people with a purpose. So without that, I don't think there is anything that is going around. And I stand a testimony for that.
Great, great. So, what was the most challenging first step, after getting all those permissions and everything? How did you actually start the Space Kids program?
Oh my God. Initially started off, wanting to take children from here to NASA, because NASA was a very, very big thing for us here, back then, at least in textbooks only we read, and it was glamorous for us to use the term NASA because of astronauts and scientists and everything. So I was always under the impression that only astronauts or scientists can go there. Little did I know that, we could go there, we could take children to have workshops and everything. So that was a real eye opener. And I came back. I have to tell you that honestly, that my language was very poor, because 18 years of just interacting in vernacular languages and everything. So I lost how to write everything. And I was not an engineer, basically. I come from a commerce background. And that too, after my wedding, I go and complete my commerce. And, so all these things were little by little a challenge, and I never had a work experience. So if you have to take children, you know how conservative Indians are. They wouldn't want to send their children from India, from Chennai to Delhi. I'm talking about 2010, 2009, 2008, that time. So they were very conservative. And imagine if they have to send their children to NASA. And imagine they had to pay so much for sending their children. So all this were like a jigsaw puzzle. But when it has to happen, it will happen. So the universe conspired. You wouldn't believe, the passport officer, I went, I had to convince the schools first, because they were concerned that I was not having a corporate experience, or I'm not having an organizational experience or anything. But I said, I think a mother is good to go. A mother has an experience of not only taking care of the family, but even children from the neighborhood, children of the her own child's classmates and everything. So as a mother, I think I qualify and I can do. Anyways, I'm not going to teach them satellite building. So it is just that I need to give them what all it takes to become a scientist, and I think I have that quality. So I had to convince them in so many ways. And the US consulate, the visas are so difficult. But, the consul general, I just wrote to him, respected sir, I want to take children. I got this ambassador status from the Kennedy Space Center, space camps. I want to take children there. Please, sir, don't refuse. This is how I wrote. Please, sir, don't refuse the visa, sir. Please, sir, I will stand guarantee, sir. I will go. I am going to go with them, bring them back, and all that. And people laughed at me for doing that. They said, you think the consul general will respond to your email? And I was like, no, if it has to happen, it will. Staunch believer of manifestation and everything. So I said, this will happen. And you wouldn't believe, in 45 minutes, I get a reply from the consul's office. And they said, who is this woman? Please bring her to the office. We want to speak. We want to know what it is and everything. So that's where the journey started, and everybody trusted. The trust is very important when you take children and everything. So the whole thing began as a scientific organization which was giving an experiential learning for children, which was totally a different and a new concept for India, at least. So that's the reason I started there. And then subsequently, after about 3 years or 4 years, and 3,500 children, I moved on to European space and then to the Russian Space Center and everything. After 3,500 children, one day I get an award from Washington DC, the economic department, stating that you've been supportive in helping build the state of Florida, because we've started having more children, Indian children, coming here. So many more tourism spots have been identified, hotels have improved. I was like, oh my God, this is a wake-up call. Now, how much of Indian money is going there? So, then that question mark came. So only affordable children are able to do this. How am I doing justice to the underprivileged children? That was a very, very daunting question. It was hurting me badly. I could only afford to take 2 children in every, trip that I made. But that was not sufficient for a country like India. So then I said, let's do reverse engineering. Let's build one in India, so that we can have even the last child of India too. Yes, of course, grace of God, I had the opportunity to meet and interact with our honorable Prime Minister and a couple of chief ministers and all that. Fingers crossed, it should come soon. Then I said, if you have to be heard, there is one other thing. If women have to be heard, we need to do something 10x, not 1x. We need to do 10x. And truly, that's where I started with the journey of building satellites. 2015, where we did not have a precedence of a high altitude balloon and everything, we started. Everything was a challenge, everything, because I was not an engineer. I was not from the aerospace department. And everything that goes up in space, it has repercussions. So I had to sign a bond. I was, always being taunted for not being from that fraternity, scientific community, and yet you are, doing something like this, and you're doing it with children. You think that, this will develop them, or are you not getting them the quality education they are bound to have? All these things were challenges. And beyond all this challenge was the financial challenge, because, this is intense. Satellite building is extremely finance intense. So, when we built, it was like, oh my God, don't throw one sensor there. I can't afford it. We did not have a lab. And when we built the world's lightest one, that was a suborbital mission, it was my kitchen turned into a lab. So everything was like a jugaad, everything, because it was suborbital. We did a jugaad. Indians are so famous for that. So we did jugaad. So boiling water, freezer, fridge mein, and we have the spin test on the fan and everything. So then slowly people started identifying, and we built a foundation, and we started getting support in that. And now, proudly, I can say with humility, but 27 space missions, and I am the only woman founder in the world who have done this, especially with students.
Clap for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So your authenticity, your persistency, and most importantly, your self-confidence. You
You got to
you
be
didn't let it go. and
every
I
step
hear,
of it, Suman.
yes, and I hear that you also faced a lots of rejection, right? And we know that when we get one rejection, we are so much demotivated that we hide ourselves behind a chair. So how did you manage it?
It's an everyday affair. It's an everyday affair and it sticks into your skin. It doesn't go beyond the skin. Anything that hurts your soul is what is important. And this doesn't hit my soul. It pushes me harder to say that today it's hit me. So maybe God wants me to run a little more faster. Maybe He wants me to think on a broader version wherein I am narrowing down certain things. So that's why I'm getting all these challenges. So I open up on a broader sense and I pat myself and I say, come on, go girl, you are made for this. Don't lose. Don't lose heart. So that's how I keep running every day, every morning. Because even though you have tears in your eyes, I always believe.
I request everybody to please
I
mute
request
their.
you. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry,
So
sorry, Srimati.
one thing I believe every day when I wake up, dress up, show up, and you can do that.
Very, very nicely said, Srimati ji. Very nicely said. So, what advice do you have for the women who are here and who also inspired to become entrepreneur one day?
Well, oh my God, no advisors as such because everybody is a beautiful soul. Everybody has got strong instincts with them. We need to follow our instincts, and I think that is the best guide. And it can channelize all our energy into the right direction, and absolutely be focused in whatever you are doing. Don't listen to too many things what people say, or if you listen to it like a music. You should be dancing to that music. Oh, you cannot do this, you can't do this, you cannot go here, you cannot go here, you cannot go here. So just listen to it like a music. And I think, see, you smiled, this will take us everywhere. This will take us everywhere because as an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that we women stick to only food industry, designing clothes. No, we want more women into deep tech, in defense, because technology is for women too, and age is just a number. Please, we need to believe that age is just a number. If I can say, I will tell you in, when we were launching the Kalam Sat, every day was a challenge because I had major gynec issue. And, I cannot tell you how profusely I was bleeding. And with that, I ran literally. And people thought I was mad. Health is first, health is first. But if you're going to keep thinking health is first, what are you going to do later when there is emptiness around? I think that is all. You need to embrace that also with a smile. So, this is the best gift God has given you. Keep that intact. Come what may be. Shine, shine, and shine, and keep smiling.
Very, very well said. Every word of yours is so inspiring, Srimati ji. So,
Thank you, Subhanshi.
so my next question is, how did the Sanatan Dharma and spirituality played a role in your career?
I think every bit of it was that. I believe in that because you can work in any industry, but if you have to work in space industry, I think the universe, God, whatever we call, they have to choose you. Because when you say God, we all lift our hands up. And when we say space, we raise our hands up. Though there is a beautiful space here well within. And that's why the name Space Kids India was also born, because if you had true intentions here within, only then you can reach, the real space there. So every step of it, my punching bag was God, and our culture, I should say. Even satellites, before we go for a launch, be it whatsoever religion or anything the children wear, everybody must pray, and we keep the satellite there in our puja room, and do everything of after all the testing and everything, and then only give it to ISRO. And Bhagavad Gita is like a Bible for me. I bring in Bible and Bhagavad Gita together because everything is holy and spiritual for everybody. But for us, because as children, we are brought up in the culture to read Bhagavad Gita, it's more a management study than a religious book. You know how you have to treat human beings. You know how to navigate your work, channelize your energy, do good with the peers. So that is a wonderful book that gives you everything. I would say, it's an MBA degree by itself.
Yep, true. Yeah. I have one question. I mean, you are super confident, but I will still ask you this question because
Okay.
this is one question that every lady had at some time during their lifetime, and it's called as imposter syndrome. So how doesn't matter how good you are, a big professor, a big scientist, you have that moment. So did you also experience that? And if yes, how did you overcome it?
As you rightly mentioned, every woman has got that. I think due to the physiological changes and everything, we are more affected, mentally. And that pulls your resilience. And sometimes you just want to give up. So it's very true what you mentioned. And also that self-doubt. So everything is a cascade of one after the other. But every time that hit me, it is one, prayers, silence, and I go stand in front of the mirror. I say, this is hitting me today, but I know this is just momentary. Maybe I'm feeling weak today. So please, God, give me that strength to overcome this, because I was born for a purpose and I don't want to give up. Because this is how I was on the ventilator 2 years ago, affected by COVID. And from the ventilator, I gave the proposal to ISRO for building Azadi Sat. The director was blown. He said, "Are you mad? Nobody will do this sitting in in an ICCU." I said, "I know I'm not going to die. This is just momentary. So this too shall pass." So if you just can keep thinking that this too shall pass, and give that confidence that, yes, you can, I think everything will fall in place. Because God will also start thinking, oh my God, I'm troubling this woman so much. It's okay. We'll give peace in her life. So we have to pull him down to do that. No
So stick to your
tears.
purpose.
No tears. I would always say, hide those tears. Hide those tears in the washroom. Come out as a lioness, because you can do it. You can do it. And keep that ornament, smile.
So my next question is on mentorship and networking. So what role has mentorship and networking played in your career journey?
I have to say, unfortunately, I did not have a mentor or anything, because there was no precedence. And, going from a homemaker to do something like this, people did not believe in you first. So then only comes mentorship. So the more they said this will not work, I took that as mentorship. I said, yes. The more you're saying it's not going to work, then the more I'm going to dive deep and find out where I should not go wrong, where I can make a difference, create a path so that there will be many more women to walk in that path. Because that is very, very important. No matter who doesn't believe you, but your sisters across the globe should believe you. They have to give you that strength. So I always trusted in that, and never was one a dull moment. It was all just like that in jiffy. So mentorship, you know, it was only sitting and praying. Prayers were my, God was my mentor, I should say. That's all. And then, of course, if I have to say the other question that you asked, so Suman, what was it?
Networking.
Networking. I was very poor at it. I was very, very poor at it because owing to 18 years of being at home, to print my visiting card, I used to feel shy. I used to really feel shy. And, how will I go give one card of mine? All this I had to negate over the years. And, even now there is a small thing within me how. But the best thing that you can do is networking, nothing like that. I learned that if I have to do online and everything without meeting physically and talking and all that, I was too good. But then inside, it was like so nervous then. Now, rock star, I can do it. I can do it. Be it anybody, be it the president or the prime minister. Yes, I will tell you what we have to do. So I think it comes over the years. But now women are super smart, girls are brilliant, and they can just do wonders because networking is your net worth.
And any tips on networking for young women?
You should know, LinkedIn is a big supporter, I would say. LinkedIn, apart from the physical meets and conferences and everything, I would attribute it to LinkedIn because whomsoever I have in my fraternity now, from NASA or any other, agencies, space agencies, top space companies, organizations, and everything, it was easier to connect there. It was easier to interact with them, express, and people respected you there because they know that LinkedIn means business. So that way, I found LinkedIn very, very helpful for us, and for this journey that we've embarked on. But apart from that, I think you have to go and make your presence felt in the conferences. Let it not be only the women conferences. You have to break that. Never go for women conferences because that is just to say hi and you're there supporting each other. Yes, fine, that's okay. But you should make your presence in hardcore businesses, which mean money, which mean technology, which means networking. I think that's where everything happens.
So the economical knowledge is
Yes.
equally important together with
Absolutely, absolutely. If you are not standing on your own feet financially, then it's very difficult to take your goals forward. Even if you're not earning, you need to keep the fire in the office going. You need to have your team going with all that. So that's very, very important, financial independence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, and my next question is on leadership. So how would you describe your leadership style and how it has evolved over time?
I would say that there has always been a MOM and a MAM. So most of the times it is the MOM that supersedes the MAM. So and people loved you for that, and I wouldn't say that I'm a hardcore tyrant leader. No, I am a what do I say? A friendly person who can just carry the pack with me. So I'm just there in the front to do things, but I would let everybody go in the front. I will just be there behind them, push everybody in the front, and take care of everybody like a mother hen. I always love to protect and be there. So I feel a leader should do that. Stand by for your people. And if you're there for your people, then I think everything you win.
Very nice. So you are a people person.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And more
Purpose,
so with the
people
children. More
person,
so with the children.
confidence. This is all what we need. Okay.
Absolutely,
So
Srimati.
I have only 3 minutes for my questions, and then we open the question answer round for our audience as well. My next question would be, you mentioned that you mostly work with small kids and young minds, and that's a completely different business model, right? And those are the kids who have no experience. So how do you deal with them?
Um, when I started, or even now, I have to say, though my company is a partnership company, I rely completely on my foundation because I love to be more as a social entrepreneur, because there are a lot of people, as commercial entrepreneurs. It's just that you invest, you work around certain nuances and everything, and then you make profits. If not in the first few years, at least later on, you know the trick of the trade and you get it done. For me here, I believe in building the future. So when you have to build the future, you have to be a person who they can look up to. So how you want to navigate these children, it's very important, because the children that I handpicked and who were there with me almost for 10 years now, that's where we built all these satellites. I handpicked them when they were in their 8th and ninth grades. And these are all children from villages, tier 2, tier 3. In fact, the way that you spelt or the way that you pronounced something, they would ape. And when they moved from their young to the adolescent, I did have challenges. I did have challenges, work on their emotions and everything. Then you had to put them in colleges and everything. Then, work balance with building satellites. And satellites, when, it's not a small thing that you do, because you set it up like 400, 700 kilometers up. And if it has to communicate, you just need something different, something extra. And I would say it's a blessing of God that the team that I was able to build, everybody had that little extra, and they built that. And with that confidence, we had a lot of open sources where we could refer the papers from NASA, ESA, and everything, GCTC. So all these scientific papers helped us to build a technical, completely know-how, so that we were on the make and break. So we would make break, and that's how we built all these space missions, because it is a difficult industry, but not doable. Everything is doable. It's just that you need to know where you exactly point. That's very important. So and children, I feel that are like clay. You can just mold them, so I would love to work with them, because they are our future. They are the ones who are going to carry our baton, and we need a strong future. So I'd love to sit with them and be with them forever.
Great, great. So I would like to tell our audience here is that Srimati ji is not only the founder and CEO of Space Kids, she is also involved in many voluntarily activities and many foundations for, she's also working for a foundation for breast cancer. She's working for the underprivileged kids, and she is doing a lot of things. She's in the management board of certain universities as well. So how do you do it all? How do you manage your time and energy?
See, when you have the passion and when you feel satisfied in the smallest things, I think I come from a generation where little things matter most to us. So even when there is a rain, there is a smile. When there is when there is snow, there is a smile. So that way, when we build small things, that also gives happiness. So if you see,
ಮಗಳ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ವೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಂತೆ.
Bharti ji, can you please mute yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we buy from Jugraj?
Okay.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು
Bharti ji, can you please mute yourself?
Maybe the host can do that.
Sumanji, yeah, you can mute everyone.
Yeah, even.
I think Sangeeta ji, you are the host, or Giri ji, you are the host.
Yeah, Giriji is the host.
Yeah, good to go.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we were talking about the time management.
Yes. So when you have love for every little thing that you see, and when you feel that one life is not sufficient, then you definitely make time for everything because you want to show up for everything and you want to make a meaningful, purposeful life. When you look things beyond money and beyond finances, I think there is a special energy in your body that, emulates and you're able to do everything. During COVID, I was cooking for 1,200 people with just 3 supporters with me. Every day, 102 days. So when you have to do something like that for somebody else, I think automatically you get that energy because you're so happy doing it for somebody. So I think it is easy to manage. It's all in here.
Perspective and mental strength.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Srimati ji, for sharing your passion and your contagious smile with us and your inspiring words. I would say that I would stop now and I will let our audience ask you questions. I'm sure there are many questions in the audience. So if somebody has a question, please raise your hand. Malati ji raised a hand. Malati ji, you can unmute yourself, and if you like, you can also turn on your camera.
Hey, hi, Srimati. Lovely listening to you once again.
So happy meeting you here. One
Yes.
queen. Oh my God, the
Yeah.
Empress. I will never forget
You
the
are the
title,
Empress.
the title she gives everybody.
Yeah, it was amazing to listen to you. I've listened to your podcast so many times, and
Thank you.
it's always a pleasure listening to you. And like Sumanji mentioned, it's your smile, that big, broad smile of yours. I think it's very infectious.
Thank
The next 2 days, I'm going to be smiling like this. Lovely. I also have this question regarding time management. When you do so many things, how do you prioritize? How do you decide what is important now? And how can, for example, if I want to take up something like that, what should I do?
I think you gave the answer in the question. You just
Which
need
is?
to know your priorities whatsoever. See, because women first tend to give priority to family, be it whatsoever, even if we have to sign a deal with the US, if we have to be there, signing an MOU with US President Trump, we would say, and the family wants you, we would say, hey, Trump, just be there for 5 minutes. I'll just finish this and come. But we know the best way to tell him, Trump, maybe I will get you a samosa. By the time you have samosa, I will go finish this and come. I think we are very smart in, articulating things. So, you don't hurt anybody, but at the same time, you kind of articulate things, you navigate, you prioritize, you make your list, at least in your head, and you run. And I think, yes, you can do it. But here people would say that, you compromise on your sleep, you just sleep for 3 to 4 hours, this is going to damage your body and everything. I would say any day it's going to be damaged, but I'm sure when I'm doing something so passionately, nothing would happen. Just pop up some, keep drinking a lot of water, keep talking to children, keep hugging women and saying, yes, I'm getting your energy, I'm taking the energy from you. I think it keeps you going. And the other thing is you need to be independent with regards to driving. I would tell every woman, because if you are dependent on somebody to take this, the mobility, I would say, if you are dependent on somebody and if you have to move from one place to another, seeking some support, I think that's critical. So these are little things, if you are able to take it under your control, I think you can do it. We know how to balance the food menu, make our family smile with that, and then you dress up. But of course, yes, how much ever you do, there is a little bit of, oh, she could have done better. Oh, she could have done this better. Maybe she should have been with us for some more time. This you will hear from family, from friends, from team, everybody. But that shouldn't put you down. Oh my God, I did so much for them, yet they want to complain. Remember, everybody wants to do something because they want to be with you. That's all. So turn that as a positive note. Wow, they all want to be with me. That's why they're doing this. So let me just feel happy for it. Guys, maybe I will do this next time. Support me, okay? Bye. Love you. I think these are little words that if we can use everywhere, even with fierce anger, people would change. If I have to share an anecdote, the first time when we were launching this high altitude balloon, 3.5 months, I had to go to the collector's office, all the government offices. I wouldn't want to name them. And finally, we had to get permission from the Civil Aviation Ministry. And every day I call, the person will say, he's in a meeting, he's in a meeting, he's in a meeting. And next day was the launch, and I was dreading. There was no precedence. A super mom sitting here to do something in space, signing, signing a bond of 10 lakhs or imprisonment. And still I'm like, oh God, ho jayega. It will happen. It will happen. And with one hand I drive and other hand I talk, and I'm like, what's happening? This man says, no, he's in a meeting. Finally, I pray, and last minute I just call him. This one time I'm going to call him, and he's going to pick. He's going to pick. The manifestation, I kept saying, you won't believe the director himself picked. The director is the IAS officer immediate to the Minister of Civil Aviation. He picked up with such, hello. So he's angry. He's had a rough day. So put everybody, you slip into their shoes. You don't see it from your perspective. Look at it from their perspective. So probably he's had a bad day. So I gave it a pause and I said, hello, sir, namaskar. And then it melts and it is like, yes, who? And you won't believe he typed the letter for us. So women have such power. You can do anything. But it's just that you need to believe that you can do everything. That nobody can give you, nobody can guarantee.
True. Please, women, make use of your soft power. You have it. So we have a couple of more questions in the chat. And as I said, mothers are already interested to join you, Srimati ji. And they are asking, how can their daughter join you?
Okay, well, what is this? This particular, satellite that we are building is for children from humble backgrounds. So saying that, what I would say is children who are gifted to be in a good school, like, in a better school, not in a public school and all that, become our, volunteers. So we want to teach them to give back. So they can be like teachers teaching these children. They can be volunteers to spread this message. And you know what? We need to raise $15 to $20 million for this. And, so they all can become supporters for that. So that way we train them how to do a 360-degree, project. So they all can join us, and whatever way they want to contribute, they can do. There is no hard and fast rule. In our organization, everything is done happy.
So do you offer any kind of vocational training for NRI kids? Like when they visit India, maybe they can contact you, do a couple of days training.
Yeah, they can come and join. Yeah, they can definitely do that. No worries. When they come to India, they can come if they are in Chennai. because we are stationed in Chennai, they can come over and, they can be with us. They can rub shoulders with our young scientists and, learn the nuances, whatever they could do in those little days, a few days, I mean.
Okay, thank you very much. Sangeeta ji, how much time do we still have? Because there are a couple of more questions.
I think so. You can take the questions. That is very important.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So there is one more question on Srimati ji. Do you have any other hobbies as well?
You know what? When I'm extremely, challenged and stressed and things like that, I love to really dance. I love to dance. And I told you I'm already a sportsman. So any game, I love to. And a marathon, I wouldn't watch movies, but when things like this happen, I watch like 6 to 7 movies like continuously on a marathon. So I love enjoying watching movies. And the best thing I would love to do is cook. I love to cook different cuisines, and during Diwali, I think I should share my pictures. You wouldn't see a Srimati like this. You would see like all hair up and with all I have like huge vessels because I prepare sweets like 15 kilos, and savories 15 kilos, and varieties like 10, 12 varieties. And I love to do that. And Diwali is like extremely special. Those 3 days, no meetings, no conferences, nothing. It's only because everybody, all my children wait. All my children, in the sense, there are so many children that are around me, and everybody is like, "Ma, we are waiting for your namkeen. We're waiting for your sweet." So my entire focus will be on that.
So the next time we know where we have to be in Diwali.
Oh, please, most welcome.
Okay. We got one more technical question, Srimati ji. So, what was your first aha moment when you started your company?
I cannot say one moment, Sumanji. It's like
I knew.
millions because every minute, Jio Zindagi Har Pal is my version. Like every minute, you have to live life. So, there is no special aha moment. But the only thing I can say is uh, from a homemaker, when I landed up, at the gates of NASA, Kennedy Space Center, and I was being introduced to the chief education officer there and the astronaut, standing, rubbing shoulders with them and clicking a picture. I teared up. It was like such a blessing and such a moment for me. Very, very special. Very special.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Srimati ji, for sharing your such an experience. I mean, I don't have any words to describe that. I would say it's our honor to meet such an incredible personality who carries it all, being a mom, being an entrepreneur, being a social service active person, being a cook. I mean, you are one in all. And we wish you
Thank you for
all the
making me
best.
feel
Be
that
like what
special.
you are, and keep inspiring all the young women here. And yeah, we look forward to see more of your satellites in the lunar orbits, in the suborbits. And we wish you all the best, that you get the fun, what you want for your next endeavor and your next mission. All the best.
Thank
Any
you.
other
Thank you
questions?
so much, Sumanji. This was so wonderful. I should see Dr. Deepika. Okay, here, Sangeeta already. And I see all the names here: Mamta, Mani, Bharti, Rashi, Chitra, Suma, Advika, and Ms. Rahul Narayan, who brought me in for here, along with my friend Malati. So thank you all. Thank you so much. It was wonderful being with you all. Happy Women's Day, and keep the 12 always whenever you stretch your jaw. Remember Srimati.
Now, I would request Sangeeta ji to take over the stage, please.
Thank you, Suman. Srimati ji, every word you said is so inspiring, valuable, and you're so much confident, high on energy, and you're really a rock star.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah.
much.
But due to time constraint, we have to wrap up. The
Thank you,
Baudik.
ma'am.
Now I call upon Satvika Salagundi to deliver the vote of thanks. Satvika Salagundi.
250 packing
Is it possible to mute Advika Maitri Rao?
On the occasion of Hindu Women's Day, I think the topic space, science, and ladies is a wonderful topic presented by Srimati Kesan. I would like to thank our speakers for taking time for this webinar, narrating this topic on detail. And I would also like to thank all the amazing audience for being there and for eventually asking nice questions.
Wow, sweetie, you did wonderful. Love you, love you.
Great. And thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Srimati ji, again.
Thank you.
Thank you, the
all. God
organizing
bless
committee.
you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.